We got one package of anime DVDs. It's not a big update, but other non-anime stuff. I got the Road Warrior and Mad Max Fury Road. So I picked up Fury. I have been avoiding picking up Fury Road because I've not watched any of the Mad Maxes, and I didn't have Road Warrior, which is essentially Mad Max 2 as I understand it. So now that I picked up 2, I picked up that, and obviously I got a Robin Williams double feature of Patch Adams and What Dreams May Come. Got it mostly because of What Dreams May Come, because that one was a interesting one, and last time I saw it was in theaters, so now I get to poke around. Well, I have poked around a little bit, but just a little bit, because obviously my priorities are elsewhere, such as Dragon Warrior 7 and anime. Let's see, so we got, this is the anime for today. We got Argevollen DVD and Blu-ray Collection 2. And I know Etotama had a release date of the 10th. What is today? I think it's over 10. I think the 10th was Friday, wasn't it? No. Maybe it was Saturday. So we got Blu-ray episodes 13 to 24. Region A. No dub. But it's shipped. It's just not going to arrive until this weekend, so that's probably caused by my ordering it as late as I did. So here we've got 2 discs, and the artwork for those. So the disc and the Blu-ray and disc 2 have the same artwork. So disc 1 is completely new. And the other anime is a re-release of Noein. It's been a while since I've watched it. I think of Chipotle burritos because I think at that time I was eating Chipotle burritos when I was watching it. It's weird how sometimes memories like that. It's like Eden's Bowie reminds me of Mega Man Zero because I was working on a tool-assisted speedrun. This is actually a very pretty box. According to the back here, this is actually regions A and B. I think that makes sense. It's an older Funimation re-released. Obviously there's a dub here. Yeah, there we go. Just having trouble focusing. And the reason I got this, even though I already have the anime, is of course this is the Blu-ray and DVD release. So this one says DVD. 1, 2, 3, 4 discs. And I guess before we flip through those, let's take a peek at these. I actually like these. They're not exactly minimalist, but they're kind of like that along those lines. That looks like an invertible cover. Interesting. The discs themselves are straightforward. This would be the Blu-ray version, which will have 3 discs in it. As expected, some more of these. These discs are much like the DVD versions, except black, and this time we have to look at the image from the side there, because this is, oh no, I guess we could do that. Let's see. Something feels weird about the plastic on that, but oh well. There's this week's anime DVD collection update. But we've got another box here, and this one maybe a little tall, but this should be another one of the FREEing quarter scale RP figures. So this update's going to actually be a decent one because there's more of those to show. Because this isn't the only one to arrive, but this arrived today, so I figured might as well go with the YouTube behavior of unboxing and recording it and having people say, "Ooh, I wish I had that," or something. This is some annoying tape. Now this is the bottom of the box, so oh cool. This would have been the one I would have wanted to have arrive today. So let's see. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this super cleanly. But I guess y'all have never seen me open one of these before, so if you're kind of curious how it's boxed, maybe I need to back it up a little bit more, because the packaging for this one is actually kind of big. It makes sense though, because a lot of these figures are sitting down, so they are lower gravity. Nagato is standing really tall, and Tsuruya leaning over a little bit, but she's still on her feet. So this packaging just seems to want to come off this way, so might as well just slide it off. So like the other ones, there's actually no tape on the top of this box holding it shut. So the one that did have tape on it, I'm wondering what that means. This is the only one to come from Japan, so it's kind of different in that regard. So what I'm going to do is pull up on this while the box slides out. Keep sliding box. And there we've got the figurine itself barely standing, so I should need to be a little more careful here than I was. Let's see, I've got tape there, had tape there. So now that's open. I guess instead of just doing this for the camera, I'm going to play it a little safer because I don't want it falling flat on its face, getting damaged or anything like that. There's a lot more tape on this side. I wonder if there's any on the bottom. Maybe on the side here that I missed. Scissors. Can't see that. And it opens. So, for this one, holy shit, she's got a lot of hair. I never realized Nagato has barely any herself. She's the complete opposite. So we got an instruction manual here saying that hair needs a balancing piece, and as you can see from the base, you got two places to stand and something else that goes there, and that something else is a little fork-like thing here. So let's just pick her up like that. Looks great. And start investigating this. So the feet go in the shoe right there like that, which means that this piece will be in front of her. Come on, get around those pegs, get near those pegs. I don't know. This should make today's video weird, I guess. So where did the instructions say? In between pieces. So probably this hooks in right there in the spot between those. Maybe. Because the idea of this thing is, this is a pretty top-heavy figure, so you added support. I don't have many others that do this, but like I've got a Fate Testarossa one over there that needs a little piece to keep the sword aligned. Let's see. This is how I can tell, because yeah, it's supposed to go in between that and that. So that's the right location. It's just all weird. But now we get the feet in place. And voila. I think we can move the camera a little bit closer. We've got Tsuruya. Let's see, what else do I have here to show? Because there are a couple of them. We got a Ryoko Asakura. Like I said, she comes from... She's a lot like the others that have a lower center of gravity. They're much flatter, so they don't have support things like that. I guess next up is Mikuru Asahina. And the reason why I wanted Tsuruya, so last time obviously I had a Haruhi Suzumiya and Yuki Nagato, so if you're going to have one more after that, Mikuru Asahina is probably the best choice. But after that, I'm actually a big fan of Tsuruya. She's fun. It's like, you watch The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, because Haruhi Suzumiya is kind of tiger-like, you know, in that, you know, you can see a playful aspect there, but you only want to see her on the other side of that TV, because in real life she would actually be dangerous. Or something like that. Let's see, another one, we got Kyon's little sister. This one's kind of interesting, because as you can see, the legs don't have the mesh that the others have. I guess that's a good check, that the mesh is mesh, I guess. This one also comes with a replaceable hand, but instead of having the hand open, I went with the two-finger V approach, I guess. Turn the head to the side. You got something a little artsy there. So, these 4 figures arrived in this past week. That's actually good for this update, because it means that next week, once the anime DVD releases pick up again and go fucking nuts, we'll have anime stuff. And because I'm sure you're curious, let's see if I can actually fit the other 2 here. Look how tall that Yuki Nagato is. And last but not least, we've got Haruhi Suzumiya. So I think Mikuru is going to move back, because Haruhi needs to be a more prominent character. And there you go, that's a almost complete collection. The last one is also shipping from Japan like Tsuruya did, so who knows when that'll show up. But it shipped kind of close to the same time, so maybe I'll get lucky and it shows up for next week. So my anime watching progress has been slow but steady. I finished watching all of Season 1 of Haikyuu, which I got the impression that maybe Season 2 wasn't finished airing, or maybe it was about to start airing in Japan or something like that. I don't know. Obviously there's more to it than what we have here. And what we do have here is actually pretty good. I'm trying to think how to best describe it. I guess I don't remember its Japanese name, but there was an English titled anime called Big Wind-Up, I think it was. That one was about baseball, but it was kind of neat in that it kind of got into the head of the people playing and give you more insight. And so Haikyuu is actually kind of more along that line of sports anime. It's that mixed with underdog teamish with, I don't know. It is really something that you get into and you keep watching and it keeps going and you kind of want to know what's going on next. I think I mentioned last week that they tend to not leave you at an episode where you feel completed, so you kind of feel like you want to watch the next episode and you're interested, invested in what the characters are doing. You have an interesting mix of characters, and I kind of felt like you could sympathize with where they were trying to go, and it was also kind of neat how for the opposing teams, you know, they kind of fit these tropes of being bad guys, except that the anime kind of makes sure that, you know, that they're not bad guys. They're other people also trying to make the same goals that the main characters on this team are trying to do. And like I said, there's an element of it that's kind of like Big Wind-Up in that you kind of have something that's special and unique, and can you build a team around it and make it convincing? In the case of Big Wind-Up, if I remember right, that was somebody who had ridiculously good ball throwing control, and that one's kind of like this one because that one also involved, you know, the pitcher and the catcher kind of needing to be 2-2, and the catcher was the kind of person who was like really good at keeping track of what balls had been thrown for which people and what they might expect, and he just needed somebody with really good control that could pitch the way he really wanted to, even if that person was kind of rough and new-ish to the game. And this is very much the same, where you have your very athletic, super eager, energetic, athletic, very new to the game, who doesn't get to play a whole lot himself, and somebody with ridiculously good control who is kind of the person who sets up how the next attack is supposed to go. And they need to work together, and they're a good combo, and the entire team's about built. It's not exactly built around that, but it's built around, now that we have this, how can we use it to against our opponents? And it's real good. It's 25 episodes. I can't think of any episode in which it was bad. It kept me entertained. The only reason I didn't sit still and just watch it is because I'm still placing a very high priority on finishing Dragon Warrior 7, which, as you can probably guess, I've still been playing. If you've played it before, and I'm trying to decide if I should mention that or not, but basically I finished a combo of 3 islands. I forget the first one, but one of them was Lumen, and the third one was Mardra, which I've been having to be very careful because I keep thinking of it as Madara from Naruto, even though I've not watched that in a month or 2 or something like that. But yeah, I just finished those and stuff just after those, and I'm ready to go to the next island. My game time is somewhere in the upper 80 hours, but to be fair, there was about 16 hours of that was not necessarily me playing so much as you can win at the casinos just by holding up the up button, literally, like at the slot machines. So I followed an online suggestion, just took out a rubber band and let it run overnight. I have something like 130,000 coins, and if I exchange it at perfect exchange rate, that would net me, I forget, 400,000-ish gold. If I go a little less efficient, then it's still over 300,000. That's quite a bit. But, you know, there's that. And then also that playtime doesn't include the little bit of resetting that's going on. But the truth of the matter is, I'd probably guess that it's still about 70-ish hours of gameplay into the game. Which might mean I'm getting close to finished, because a lot of these pedestals have been filled out. I'm not sure how many are left, but there can't be that many left. And the party is feeling close to complete. I'm a bit trepidatious about what's happened, because they took one of my good characters and said, you're not allowed to use this character for just a little bit. Like, no, they were like the key to my entire team. or something like that. I don't know. And maybe y'all don't care too much about it. It's been enjoyable. It's interesting watching it because it's sort of like there's two kinds of, well, I guess there's multiple kinds of series, but you kind of do have two kind of common themes in terms of the way some series will flow, and that you will have separate stories per episode that don't really have a lot to do with each other, but do kind of have an overall theme and may add on to a feeling of building up. And then you got things that are just like a story that's evolving. Like that latter one could be something like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Where you do have episodes revealing stuff, but that revealing stuff is about revealing an overall picture as opposed to standalone stories that come together in some way. Or, I mean, I'm not entirely sure if they all really come together so much as it's a bunch of individual stories. So that's something I won't find out until I beat the game, but it's interesting because that's the kind of game Dragon Warrior 7 is, and it's kind of interesting to compare that to like Final Fantasy 7 because they're both 7s and they were both PlayStation 1. And Final Fantasy 7 is definitely more of the building up of a story sort of thing, where you don't really go to a town that's like never heard of any of the other towns because it's been separate or something like that, and they have their own problem that's going to be the downfall of that town and that island and something like that. So it's interesting. It's an interesting contrast to consider. But that said, I've never really finished. Well, I did finish Final Fantasy 7, but I never really played it like I played this. So it's one of those things that maybe I should do sometime. Or maybe I don't need to because Chrono Trigger was just so great. I'm trying to think if there was anything else other than that to note. I did play a little bit of Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. I've had 3 copies of it for a month or 2 now, but I was waiting for an opportunity to have 2 of my friends coming over at the same time, and we all just synchronize and go through the game together because, I don't know, maybe we don't need to do that. Maybe we'll decide, yeah, we've played enough, we can just play with other random people online or something like that. We'll have to see. But we literally only did the first set of levels in the first world because it took us a while to set things up, and we're synchronizing between the 3 of us and getting things running. But who knows? Maybe I'll get further and it'll be interesting. It's very different from the other multiplayer Zelda games. I guess it'd be Four Swords and Four Swords Adventures. With Four Swords, I was playing that with one of these friends, like in movie theaters before we'd watch a movie. We'd arrive 15-30 minutes early and just play a little Four Swords, and eventually we just went through all of it. Whereas Four Swords Adventures was me and my brothers playing, and if y'all have seen my new Super Mario Brothers Wii videos, then maybe you enjoy the idea of me and my brothers playing a Zelda game, especially since I do like to burn things. That fire rod is mine. You're not allowed to have it. Purple, you can have all the Force Gems you want. Or was that blue? I don't know. So, it's a small number of things, but it is kind of busy. Outside of that, there's probably nothing else really worth mentioning. Yeah, I do recall that the second half of this month has a lot of releases. I think the last week has like $700 worth of releases. That one is big. But I think I can afford it, so it should be good for y'all, and hopefully the next months after that aren't going to be so insane, and I guess I do need to pre-order next month's stuff before my next update. I'll try to remember that. I'll have a break between Dragon Warrior 7 records, so that should be good. Y'all, have a nice week.